We're going to give you guys some real life examples of actual referral sources that Eric, Jade, and Terrence have worked with. Give you maybe an inside glimpse into some of the combos, and we'll give as much information as we can about these places. We're going to show you guys how to find places like this in your area and kind of talk about how you can speak with them and eventually either get contracts with them or at least some steady referrals. Hesitancy to pick up the phone or go in person and start talking to these people, correct?
Yes, definitely. Our minds get to us, and it was strapped on tight in my mind.
Yeah, I remember on our first call when I asked you, hey, how has the marketing been going for you? How many solid contacts do you have? How many referral sources? And what was your answer?
0.
And I said, why? How much marketing have you been doing?
I did nothing at that moment.
And I said,
Prior to that moment.
yeah. And I probably asked you, or I told you, I said, well, hey, you've been a Gold Course member now I know you weren't focused on it, but you were following us at least semi-passively for a couple years, correct?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was longer than that, Brandon.
How long was it?
I think you said I got it before you were even part of Group Home Riches.
Right.
So I followed it probably when Andy first started it, and it wasn't the timing, I guess, right?
Yeah, well, it was that, and also it was something that was on the back burner. But even when you made that decision, like, all right, I want to do this, what were some of your fears about reaching out to places like Housing Forward?
I would say for me, just not knowing what to say, right? And then what was the reception going to be? How was the conversation going to go? And I guess the lack of awareness of how much need was truly out there.
We all get those spam calls, right? Like people call us out of the blue. You pick up on accident. You thought it was someone, and they're trying to sell you something, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. So, was there anything like that going on? Like you were afraid, like, oh, they're gonna hang up on you, or they're gonna be mean to you, or anything like that?
Definitely. And then just not being confident enough to give the responses, right? A
Yep.
necessary response. So
Beautiful.
yes, that's why I had you then, Brandon.
And Housing Forward was one of those. I know we did a meeting with them. It might have been the first one. Do you remember if was it the first meeting that we had?
No, it was not the first one. It was actually later on. I believe you and Andy connected with them first. And
Right.
then you were able to pass them on to me, and then I was able to connect and have the one-on-one call with I'm not sure if she was the director or who, one of the top individuals there.
Yeah, and we'll kind of go through this, guys. If you're in the Dallas area, feel free to reach out to these folks. Don't say you're with Group Home Riches or anything like that. They don't know us by that, but you will get a warm response. This is a great one to cover today because what is the application process like with these guys, Jade? Do you apply and then they fill up your property, or what's that like?
No, you create the phone conversations, the email conversations, and you create the connections with the individuals.
Bingo. Yeah, so there's no like magic application with these guys. I'm going to kind of show you how the sausage is made. Do you want to give them like you don't have to say it word for word, but what's the general pitch that we say to places like this via email? What does Medell send to these guys when she finds one?
That we're a newer real estate company in the area, and we wanted to focus on affordable living rather than a traditional landlord. And we're hoping to speak with individuals, caseworkers who serve the demographics who need this type of housing. That's a short synopsis of it.
That's pretty much it. That's basically it, word for word. Hey, we're a new real estate company. We plan on opening a couple properties over the next year. We see that you have I think theirs is just straight up just says rapid rehousing. hey, we see you have a flex fund program, or oh, hey, we saw that you have a landlord engagement and we're just reaching out to talk about that more. Uh, Andy, we still have you, right?
Yep, I'm here.
So me and you have actually spoken with Marcia and her director.
Yes.
What was that call like with them?
Look, I mean, these people are very, very, very grateful because there's nobody else out there doing this. If you just want to understand very basic business fundamentals, I think you look at supply and demand. There is so much demand for this type of housing, and there is so little supply. Doesn't matter what city that you're in, whether it's Dallas, Houston, Los Angeles. I mean, California is an absolute mess. There is no supply of this type of housing. And in fact, it's even worse because, I mean, Eric could probably comment on this better than me. Out in California, they're spending, like, I'm not joking, $900,000 a unit to build this type of housing. To house like one person, $900,000. That doesn't include any of the wraparound services or anything else. So there's no supply of this type of housing, and there's a ton of demand. And that's why these caseworkers are really grateful when you call.
This is a larger organization. So we've done a little bit of homework on these guys, as well as got a lot of information from them, which is really what those calls are about. You do not have the approach like, hey, I'm starting a group home. Where do I apply? Can you send me clients? It's very informational. Hey, I'm a future landlord. I do plan on offering affordable housing. Please tell me about your programs and what you guys do. And then from there, me, Andy, Jade, we've all spoken with Marcia. How do the calls go after we kind of do that intro?
They're very excited and just wanting to learn more. We learn more about them and the excitement's there. And it's a new referral that they can pass on to their caseworkers.
It's usually about 10 to 15 minutes, basically with them pitching us on this type of stuff. Now, this is a great one to kind of bring up because just full disclosure, Jade, what is their kind of main goal when we're speaking with them as a landlord? What do they want out of us?
What do they want out of us? To
Yeah.
provide, well, initially they want single units
Bingo.
for their people. And there's a huge need for that.
Don't miss out. Your journey to success begins now. Are you ready to dive into the world of group home riches? Join our exclusive school group and connect with like-minded individuals who are just starting out.